Welcome to Ready Lesson 10 for 8th grade, Analyzing Word Meanings. In this lesson, we are going to be discussing word meanings, which include figurative meanings, connotations, and technical meanings. Remember that an author uses figurative language, such as metaphors, similes, and personification, to create interesting or unusual effects that help the reader create mental images. In regards to connotation, you can use connotations to help clarify feelings associated with words in a positive, negative, or neutral way. For example, if I were to say a crowd was rowdy versus a crowd is excited, I can tell that one of these words has a more negative connotation. In this case, it's the word rowdy. Finally, remember that technical words are commonly seen in texts that cover specific subjects or topics. Understanding technical words is essential when reading texts, for example, in science texts, or other works that use specialized vocabulary. Analyzing the meaning of words in a text will help you better understand and comprehend, as well as think critically about what you read. So let's look at the work. It says, what's the difference between saying he doesn't eat very much and saying he eats like a bird? The two phrases mean the same thing, but the first sentence is literal and the second is figurative. Literal meaning refers to the dictionary definition of a word or phrase. Words or phrases with a figurative meaning express ideas in unusual or creative ways. Words may also have positive, neutral, or negative connotations, which are the feelings or ideas associated with a word. And some words have technical meanings specific to a certain subject area. When you read, be aware of these different types of meaning. It will improve your understanding of an author's message. The text says, read the magazine article below. Circle an example of figurative language, underline words with strong connotations, and put a box around any technical words or phrases. So first, let's read the text. This is obviously about bald eagles. It says, bald eagles are majestic creatures. They sail and dive through the air like trained acrobats. They also have wingspans of up to 90 inches. That's more than 7 feet long. So they want us to find an example of figurative language and circle it. So I'm going to take my circle tool, and I notice that it says they sail and dive through the air like trained acrobats. So this is a simile. So I'm going to go ahead and circle it. They also want us to locate a word with strong connotation. In this case, in the first sentence, I see the word majestic has strong connotations, so I'm going to go ahead and underline that. It's a very positive word. They also want us to take our box tool and put a box around any words that are technical. In this case, I see the word wingspan, which wingspan is a technical term, something that wouldn't normally be defined. So I'm going to put a box around that. Then it says, read the chart to analyze some of the words you may have marked in this article. So, looking at the type of language for connotative, the example we had underlined was majestic, and the effect on its meaning is that majestic encourages readers to think that the birds are more than ordinarily beautiful. In regards to our technical term, we had put a box around wingspan, which is a specific term used to explain one of the eagle's characteristics. Finally, in regards to the figurative language, we had circled they sail and dive through the air like trained acrobats. This is a simile that is comparing an eagle's movements to that of an acrobat's. Authors choose words and phrases carefully to convey meaning and feeling. Determining word meanings can help you understand how an author's specific word choice affects the text. Let's move on to part 2. Read the beginning of the scientific account about mollusks. The Mollusk Family by Deshawn Miller. Did you ever imagine that a tiny snail and a giant octopus might be part of the same family tree? Most people don't realize that snails, mussels, squid, and even octopods belong to the same category of creatures known as mollusks. These amazing creatures are invertebrates, which mean they do not have spines. Mollusks share 3 basic body parts: a foot, a body, and a mantle. The foot is a fleshy part of the mollusk's body, made up mostly of muscle tissue. In a snail, the foot is the part of the mollusk that meets the ground and gently rolls the body forward. From this slow, measured motion comes the phrase, a snail's pace. A mollusk's soft body is like a fragile bag that holds the heart, the guts, and various internal organs. The mantle, which is often a shell or a tough, sturdy covering, functions like a suit of armor to protect the body. So it says explore how to answer this question. How do the word choices in the scientific account help you understand the author's intended meaning? Reread the account, circle an example of figurative language, underline the words with strong connotations, and put a box around any technical words or phrases. So first I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to choose my circle tool and I'm going to try to look for figurative language. Well, I can see in the last paragraph that they refer to the mantle as functioning like a suit of armor. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to circle this. The mantle functions like a suit of armor. Next, they want me to underline words with strong connotations. So I'm going to take my underline tool, and I notice that they refer to these creatures as being amazing. This is a very strong, positive word. Finally, they want us to take our box tool, and they want us to look for any technical terms. I can see the technical term octopods here in the first paragraph, which basically means octopus, but in plural. So now it says, in the account, find an example of each type of language named in the first column. Add it to the chart, then in the last column, explain the effect or word of phrase has on its meaning. So, in the account, the figurative language that we saw was the mantle functions like a suit of armor. And the effect this had on this meaning is that the image suit of armor is used to show that mollusks' mantles are tough and durable. Now, in regards to connotative words, we did underline the word amazing, which I will put into the chart. And the effect that this word had on the meaning is that the word gives mollusks a positive feeling by showing that the author admires them. And in regards to technical terms, we have the term octopod, which, as we had discussed earlier, is a plural form of octopus. Okay, this has been part 1 of lesson 10. Join me for the next part, part 2, which has parts 3 through and 4 of the lesson.